Is that what you wanted to do?
No, my nose itched. Oh. What was I saying? So workout 11.4 has been posted, and it's brutal. We have AMRAP 10 minutes, so another AMRAP, but slightly different style this time. Instead of doing a multiple number of rounds in 10 minutes, it's a lot of work to get done in 10 minutes, and if you get another round, you just keep going. So it's kind of a different version of an AMRAP than I've really seen before, ever. Kind of cool though. Should be fun. Should be a bit of a gut check. We have 60 burpees where you jump over a barbell. Great way to standardize the burpee. The next part is 30 overhead squats at 55 kilos for the guys, 40 kilos for the ladies, followed by 10 muscle ups. And we're seeing muscle ups come out. Heavy overhead squats and muscle ups came out. Last week I began to theorize and think about how they could throw in a more technical, harder level movement that people might not have. And the way that they ended up doing that, the way I thought they would do that, I was thinking they would put something that everyone can do right in the beginning of like a triplet or a couplet, and then the second half of it be something that not everyone could do. And in this case, it was muscle ups. So they've thrown that more technical movement, that harder movement out there, and now they have the now they have the muscle up, but preceding that is a good 90 reps worth of stuff. It's a lot of work to get done in 10 minutes. There'll be plenty of scores. I'd say probably the majority of the scores will be under one round. And then beyond that, you're going to see some of the top athletes get more than one round. Beforehand, if I had to guess, I would say that the top score is going to be right close to 2 rounds. Probably under 2 rounds when you think about how long 60 burpees takes. So when you break it down, it's going to be really difficult for people to get through 2 rounds of this. And I'm thinking it's more going to be along the lines of 1 round and a bunch of burpees. 1 round and a bunch of burpees, 1 or 2 overhead squats. So I'd be curious to see if anyone gets past the overhead squats in the second round. We're already seeing some high numbers. Connor Martin posting right off the bat. He's a very skilled athlete. As far as my strategy goes, I think there's a couple options I could take. I could either hit the burpees relatively speedy, get off and see if I'm recovered enough to do those overhead squats and those muscle ups. But I think it's going to be kind of like Jackie in the sense that how fast do you want to go on those burpees? Tony made a poignant point, if you go too fast on those burpees, that's going to lose you minutes later rather than saving the couple seconds by going faster on those burpees. Where at the same time, the burpees are the vast majority of this. So if you can get those done faster, you might have more time and might be more recovered on the other ones, the other 2 movements. So for me, knowing my strengths, I'm going to try to keep a steady, if not slightly faster pace on the burpees because I know it's a long period of time and I know I'm going to want to go slower. From there, I'm going to stand up, walk over to the overhead squat. I'm going to take a little bit of a break to let my shoulders rest, maybe a couple breaths, maybe 2, 3, see if I can get my shoulders to relax a little. Snatch it up, try to do 30 in a row. I'd rather do it fast and not miss any reps. So if I start missing reps, I'm going to drop the bar, and I'm going to make sure I just get it done in 2 sets, which I know I can do. When I move on from there, I think the burpees and the overhead squat will have smashed the shoulders. So when we get into this muscle up, I think it's going to be much harder than people think it's going to be. So I think we're going to hit that muscle up, jump up there, and have a lot less than you think. So I'm thinking I'll be able to do 2 to 3 at a time, but we'll see. So I'm going to try for 3 at a time, go 3, maybe even 4. I'll change that based on how I feel. And then kind of go from there. Once I finish that round, it's just back to the burpees and try to get through that gut check once again. If you can get through all 60 burpees again, maybe get some overhead squats, I think you'll be in the money. Lastly, they gave no standard on the burpee other than you have to get up. So I'm going to try to rest my arms as much as possible on those burpees. I'm going to kind of try to flop to the ground, and I'm going to try to worm my way up with as little effort from my arms as possible. Trying to keep a pace, but not gas the arms. So that's my technique this first time I do it. We'll see what happens and go from there. Yes. All right. So, just got done with the workout a little bit ago. Taz and I both did it. Taz did great, I did okay. I think, so after doing the workout, my strategy of being like sloppy on the burpee, I don't think it was worth it. I don't think it worked. I don't think it saved my arms or anything along those lines. In fact, it felt really slow, so I ended up speeding it up. So my arms didn't fatigue, and when I got over to the overhead squat, I wasn't fatigued arm-wise, and I used my arms the entire time while I was on the burpee just because it was too slow to do the snaky down, snaky up. So my attempt was going to be to do that. I didn't do that. First set of 60, it sucked, but it was just kind of, you just go. You don't really have an option. What's awkward is the turnaround and the jump back. I had a few burpees taken away from me because I was hot. I hopped over off one foot. My suggestion on that is on the first set of burpees, try to stay moving. Try to, what I did is I looked forward the whole time, so I wasn't looking down, so I didn't get all dizzy. For me, that helped. It kept me moving kind of fast, kind of kept my chest up, kept my shoulders up, kept me smiling and breathing. When I got over to the overhead squats, as expected, it was hard, it was difficult. I did it in 2 sets. The first time I snatched it up there, I squat snatched both times, but I squat snatched it and was a little loose, and it took a lot of effort to get out of the hole without missing. When I got up out of the hole, my dog was chasing its tail. When I got up out of the hole, it was quite difficult. Stood up, realized that my legs were pretty fatigued from all those burpees. Started to go, and it was moving slower than I would have wanted to. So I did a set of 20, relatively slow, and I dropped the bar because everything started to shake. Dropped it, took a couple breaths, picked it up, did another set of 10. For me, that strategy worked. I couldn't have gone the full 30, I don't think, just because I went relatively fast on the burpees. Got over the muscle-ups, and I kind of chickened out, in all honesty. My wind was going pretty hard, so I think actually being able to get many muscle-ups like I thought I was going to.
You feel like throwing up,
You feel like throwing up. So I only did 2 on my first set, 3 on my second set, 2 on the next set, 2 on the next set, and then 1. I got done with that, and I think I had 2 minutes to go. I had 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Got back to the burpees and felt like I was going to throw up, like heavily felt like I was going to throw up. So I started into those burpees after the muscle up and just did not have any steam, just nothing. So I was doing them really slow, and that first couple kind of just ticked through, and then got to the last set, last kind of minute, and started pushing a little bit harder because I knew I only had a little bit left. So I ended up getting 1 round, 29 burpees, 29 and a half, which is shiesty because I would have liked to get the last one. My suggestion for this workout, I think the top scores you're going to see, 1 round, burpees, and then the overhead squats. I think you're going to see the overhead squats. Someone will get through those. I don't think many, if anyone, will get back to the muscle-ups. It's just too high volume. I think this workout you should definitely do twice. I think it's a workout that the first time you do it, you don't really know how it's going to feel. And it's a type of workout that when you do it the first time, you'll get that feeling and you'll know where you personally can push, where you personally should push, how you're feeling, things along those lines. So I think that I'm going to definitely do this one twice. So I'd say if you're a lighter guy, get through those burpees fast so you can get on those overhead squats and break it into as few sets as possible. If you're a bigger guy, plug away at those burpees. Just kind of keep moving, try not to stop. When you get back to the overhead squats, see if you're a bigger guy, if you can do less sets, maybe 1 big set of overhead squats, it'll give you a 1-up on those guys who don't have quite as good an overhead position. Move on to the muscle-ups, just plug through them and then get back to those burpees. But whatever you do, get back to those burpees. That way, because that's where the money's made. And then when you get back to there, you gotta just gut check, suck it up and go. So one thing Taz did is she went pretty slow on those burpees. Like she finished a good 12 reps behind Darren, who was doing it with her. But she was really fresh when she came back to the overhead squat, and she could break them into into bigger sets. So she got those done and had wind to go over and do the muscle up. So I think if you're a muscle up ninja and you're competent in overhead squats, it might benefit you to just kind of plug through the burpees. Get them done slow. Maybe even those last 10 that you do, slow down to the point where you're getting rest while you do them. Then come back over, hit up those overhead squats, get them in big sets done, smash the muscle ups, and get back to the burpees and try to hit it up as best as possible. Don't eat a giant bowl of berries and cream right before you do the workout. It starts to come back up on you. Other than that, good luck everyone. It's a good workout. Once again, this is one that separates the men from the boys. Or the ladies, or the women from the girls. What would it be? This one separates the...
Yes, good enough.
Another side note, I'm really sorry I don't have a stash for sectionals. I had an audition for a commercial. I've had actually a couple recently. Yahoo! Some fun little auditions, and in order for me to be in the commercial, I had to shave off the stash. And unfortunately, I let it go, and I'm dealing with that decision now. It's been rough for the last couple of days. I feel like less of a man every time I look in the mirror. I feel weaker, in all honesty. So I'm trying to grow it back out as fast as I can. I'll shave off this stuff, get that stash back up in there. But I've had a couple auditions recently, so until those slow down, I'm going to have the beard rather than the stash. But as soon as I can get it back, I'll get that stash back.